Should be good now.
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you now.
Good. For some reason, nothing in my house works today. My phone says my storage is full, so the camera won't come on because it says it needs storage to use the camera.
Hmm.
Uh, and then I got on my laptop now, and the mic for some reason won't work. So who knows?
Yeah, you're a little something, but it works.
Yeah. No, the only reason I got it to work is I put the beats in and
Okay.
connected those to my laptop. So,
Well, we're
all right,
here.
you ready?
Um, do we need to play the video? Did everybody see the video, or y'all gonna play it on your phones? How we gonna do it?
We can just talk through it.
I'm pretty sure Terry ain't seen it.
Right. We can just talk through it. Does you think you need to see it?
I guess we'll find out.
Boom shakalaka.
Top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world. Top of the world. Yeah, top of the world.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Worst Ones Podcast. This is the place for us preachers' kids to come and be the absolute worst. My name is Rudy Wilson. I am a PK. We got Terry Weezy in the building. He is a PK. Jay Rihanna in the building. She's a PK. And Kellie Leezy in the building. She is a PK as well. Terry, since you are in the mansion in Hollywood Hills, okay, not anymore. Now you got answer. How's it been going for you in the Central Time Zone?
It's good. I got done with this project, so we can. That was holding up our recording schedule, so that's open to whenever again.
Gotcha.
And then just looking forward to the holiday, I guess, coming up.
Gotcha. Have you been doing comedy while you've been in Tennessee?
No, not yet, because just going into Nashville, it's pretty much the only place you can do it, and I still haven't gone over there and you know, I don't know. I got to be honest, I'm a little insecure about having to start over again in a new scene, even though I know one or two people here, but I don't know, it's different.
Gotcha. No, I understand.
Yeah, I put 12 years in down there, and now I gotta again.
Gotcha. No, understood. Okay.
Yeah, at 42.
No, I got you. I got you. Princess Kales.
I am good. Yesterday was my last day of work until the Monday after Thanksgiving. So I'm thankful for.
Nice.
Yes, it is nice. So I am thankful for a whole week off. Family comes in town, so it's Thanksgiving to our 500 million viewers. So yes, so family comes in town Tuesday to Saturday. So I'll go to my parents' house for the week. So that'd be my little mini vacation, 50 minutes down the street. Little road trip to Snellville to visit my family. I'm actually doing post-Thanksgiving brunch at my house. So excited about that.
Like y'all eat leftovers, or it's a whole nother meal?
No, a whole nother menu. So we're getting catered. I don't cook. So getting it
You're
catered.
getting catered? Oh, all right.
Absolutely.
Fancy.
Breakfast. And you would probably be ashamed of how much I'm paying someone to cook breakfast.
It is the cheapest meal. So yeah.
You would probably be so ashamed of how much I'm paying someone to cook breakfast. But yes, getting catered. So yeah, I'm looking forward to a good week. Looking forward to a week off. Looking forward to time with family. Looking forward to the holiday. So I'm good. No complaints.
You and the boyfriend doing it separately or together?
So he's going to come and spend some time with my family Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I will spend some time with his family on Thanksgiving. And then he'll be at the brunch, of course, at my house on Friday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Miss Honorable, what's happening?
Just busy as normal. I have a new hire, praise the Lord, for my job. So I've been doing a lot of training. And so unfortunately, I will not get to be off like I want to next week. I have to work till Wednesday.
Oh, man.
I know. But if I put in the work now, training her on the back end, it's going to be good.
Absolutely.
And I did put up my decorations last week, which was fun. I had some friends over. I did not put the outside decorations on just because I don't want people to be looking at me crazy. But they will be going up next, probably next Wednesday, maybe Thursday. We'll see. But other than that, I'm good.
You know, people be because at the Planet Fitness I work at, and then even I was somewhere else that already had a Christmas decoration. They got Christmas decorations up, and like people were kind of making the, I guess, argument about, oh, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. You already got Christmas decorations. But I'm like, I mean, is there even really Thanksgiving decorations to put up? Like, can you even?
It's like fall.
Sure.
Would you just put up a bunch of turkeys and orange leaves or something? Like, how do you?
Yeah, you put your gourds out and your,
I do have
lemon
fall.
leaves.
I do have fall decorations.
See?
I have like couch cover, not like the pillows on the couches. I have like some very fall themed ones. I have my pumpkins, I have fake ones and then I have some real ones. I found this really cute fall wreath for my outside door. And I just bought that maybe 3 weeks ago. So that's honestly the real reason I'm leaving them up, so that this wreath can get a little bit more shine before my Christmas decorations come. But I am that person who like does have fall decorations, flowers, everything.
But is it really a Thanksgiving thing though? Like, can you really, I guess, decorate for Thanksgiving, or is it just because it's the fall season? Like, you could just leave it up.
I think it's one and the same.
But I say both, one and the same.
Yeah. But don't feel bad about your decorations. I talked to somebody this week who said on the day, November 1st, the day after Halloween, they take down their Halloween decorations. They put up their Christmas decorations. So that's 2 months.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much how a lot of people do it. As I'm saying, like even at Planet Fitness, it went up immediately. Like after Halloween, they took down all the little pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns, whatever, and start putting up
The crazy thing is, she said she takes down her Christmas decorations on December 26th.
Oh, boo. You can take
That's what I said. I said, wait 2 weeks and then leave them up 2 more weeks.
No, they had them up 2 months. So, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the first week of January.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you want to, like, cut some time down, you don't cut it off the end. Cut it off that crazy beginning in November.
Yeah.
I mean, if Kellie is paying for breakfast, I would definitely be paying somebody to do my decorations.
My parents paid someone to do theirs. I just had to cash that at somebody to do their decorations. Again, you would be ashamed of how much I had to cash at someone to put up their Christmas decorations.
When I was 16, 17, there was this rich guy in my neighborhood used to pay us $300 a piece to come over and lay a few lights on his bushes. Like it took like an hour, and he gave us $300 a piece.
Yeah, but if he got $300 to pay that means that his time is worth more than money, which is why he needed that hour. And let y'all.
Nah, he just had more money than God, and he didn't care.
I mean, sometimes paying for your time or even convenience, even being able to rest or not have to use that effort or whatever. Like
it's worth it.
Yeah, sometimes it's
one time he paid me $100 to change a light bulb for him. So yeah, he just didn't care. Yeah.
If you got the money, like give it to somebody else who could probably use that $100 more than you, and you save yourself time, energy, effort. I ain't mad at it at all. All is well with me. I ain't got nothing special going on, we actually, I mean, we're not having like a traditional Thanksgiving by any means, thanks to our producer, because we'll actually be at Disney World on the day of Thanksgiving with the Disney World and what's the other one? Hollywood Studios, Universal Studios,
Universal Studios, yeah.
Universal Studios. Yeah, so we got the passes for both, so we're gonna do like half the day of one, half the day of the other. And we're gonna be eating whatever they sell at the park.
That is crazy. Crazy.
Legs.
I mean, yeah.
I feel bad for the people that got to work at that park so you can go.
Listen, you know.
Who's all going? Is it just you, Risa? Are you here?
So Reese's boyfriend and all of his family are coming in from California, and Reese's coming from California as well. And then which I think that can. Well, I ain't gonna say all of his family because I think he has a couple siblings, but it's only like his mom, dad, and sister, and then him, and then myself, Risa, my mom, my mom's husband, and my dad is going to see Risa at some point, but he's definitely not going to Disney and all that. Like he already made that clear. And it has nothing to do with it. I mean, he's been to Disney and like that, but he's not interested in doing all that walking and getting on rides, and that's just not Pastor Wilson by any stretch. So they'll all of them will be here for like a week, pretty much. I think they get in on like Monday or something.
She leaves tomorrow.
Yeah, but we're not getting. Well, yeah.
Sorry.
The BFF knows, but we're not going to Orlando until Wednesday. Then we'll be at Disney and stuff Thursday, and then I think they fly back out that following or something like that. But I actually work because I work overnight, so I work Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then I took off Wednesday to go over there. Thursday we automatically close, and then I'm already off on Fridays and Saturdays. So yeah, so I got to work a little bit too, but yeah, so that's the plan. We'll see how that goes. I've definitely had a non-traditional Thanksgiving, just a meal before on Thanksgiving, but it more or less consists of like just eating seafood or something. But I've definitely never eaten park food for Thanksgiving.
You can get a turkey leg.
I mean, it's still park food. I don't necessarily. Turkey ain't my favorite thing on the Thanksgiving menu anyway, especially if it's not fried, because most oven baked turkeys be, you know, depending on who make it, they could be a little dry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, as far as just having the actual spread, you know, but you know, it'll be. I'm not picky, so eating turkey legs and funnel cakes and you know all that will be okay with me. So.
Turkey is a garbage protein that does not deserve all the star-spangled stuff it gets.
Well, I mean, Harry, you don't like Olive Garden, so we're not getting to this.
Oh God, please don't get him started.
We're not getting to you. Anyway,
no,
so,
you know what would be better? Like a nice lasagna and baked ziti. And
so anyway, I was at World last year doing Thanksgiving, and it was great.
You said you did what last year?
Huh?
You said
I was
you
at
did
Disney World last year doing Thanksgiving.
In Orlando or out west?
Huh?
You in Orlando or?
In Orlando, yep, with my family last year. Had a great time. Super jealous. Last year would have been fun. But no, enjoy. It's a good time.
For sure.
And they have all their Christmas stuff up at Disney World.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
They have all their Christmas stuff up.
No, I'm sure. I mean, Christmas it's way more money in Christmas than right. Thanksgiving. So they, you know, people gonna go ahead and get to it. So I ain't mad at it. All right. So, anyways, our topic for today is entitled Unintentional Sin. And we'll get into, I guess, more of the quote unquote sin part, if that's even what we will consider it at some point. But I know, Kellie, you wanted to kind of briefly even discuss our homegirl, our sister in Christ. What's her name? Bobbi Storm. Bobbi, what's it? Storm. There was a big story about her singing on the plane. Is she a part of Maverick City or something? Is that what it is?
So I think that's so I don't know much about her. But I think that is the Grammy nomination is her song with Maverick City.
Gotcha. So Bobbi Storm, she's a gospel singer. I will confirm in a second. I'll Google it to see if she's actually a part of Maverick City or not, or she just has a song with them. But nonetheless, she's up for 2 Grammys, which she also announced on the plane. But the plane had a delay for maintenance reasons, and she then I don't want to say took it upon herself, but according to her, she was instructed by the Lord to start singing gospel music, gospel songs, or maybe even her song. And I don't know if none of the other passengers like outwardly complained, but the head flight attendant, which was a black man. This was a black woman. This was a black man. So this definitely wasn't like a, we can't blame this on like a racial thing or it wasn't nothing like that. But he basically was telling her to shut up in the nicest way he possibly could. And if she didn't hush, she was gonna have to get up off the plane. And she basically was, saying that I guess she felt led by the Lord to sing. And then of course, once social media got a hold of it, different people had their comments and saying, lady, just follow the rules, just hush, so on and so forth. So I guess in the spirit of our unintentional theme that we're kind of going with, I guess, well, first of all, Kellie, what's your thoughts on this since you even kind of, I guess, brought it to the group?
So super happy for her. Yeah. Don't know much about her. I probably listen to more like old school gospel music than some of the newer artists, but this did come across my timeline. So I know a lot of artists just got their Grammy nominations. Super excited for a lot of artists, especially Coco Jones. She's not a gospel artist, but I love her. So excited for her. She got a couple. EP was great voice. Anywho, so I guess Bobbi Storm found out, right before, and excited. I understand. And I think a lot of people are excited about things in life all of the time. But there's also a way in which you operate in that excitement. And her not following the rules of the flight attendant and then saying that she was doing the Lord's work while, again, not following the rules. And I'm saying that in the nicest way possible, not following the rules of the person in charge of the safety of the entire plane, I felt like was a misuse of the Lord's name. And though you sing gospel music and though you wanted to share your ministry and share joy with other people, I think that wasn't the time. I know we've all flown. And a lot of times the hustle and bustle of getting to the airport, well, I'm always late. So getting to the airport, running to catch my flights, thanking God for getting there, for having a seat is a lot. And you're kind of just ready to like, woosah, let me, get into the mode of about to fly for a couple hours, whatever. And then any kind of disruption to that other than what you are expecting can be a bit whatever. And so I do remember, I forgot what you just said, but she did ask when the flight attendant asked her to be quiet. And I can't remember what she asked the passengers, like, do you guys mind or is it bothering you guys? And no one said anything. I'm sure some people didn't mind. She has a beautiful voice. It's a beautiful song. And so I'm sure some people didn't mind. And I'm sure some people want that quiet. But either way, the flight attendant asked her to be quiet. And so I feel like she was to bring God in it, to bring Jesus in it, that you were doing the Lord's work, but yet you were out of order, just wasn't the right way to handle the situation. So Those are my
I can't believe there's people agreeing with her. Like, there's people defending her, and I can't believe it, to be honest. Like, if she was doing that in a movie theater, would you? Would you? You know what I mean? You have freedom of religion. That's true, but not in private settings. You know. And my first thought was like, some people get really nervous when they fly. You know what I mean? Like they get really anxious. They have to take medications. Yeah, you a Xanax girl on a plane? Is that
I
what?
don't take Xanax, but I don't like flying.
Yeah, I dated somebody that if we got on a plane, Xanax was going in the mouth. So maybe having somebody sing religious songs, you know, talking about the Lord and heaven and this and that, maybe not the best time for that particular person. So I think it's just rude, you know. But I'd have said that if she was singing, you know,
right.
Avia or something. Ave Maria. She could be singing that. She could have been singing Britney Spears. It doesn't matter. It's obnoxious.
I mean,
Just because it's gospel music doesn't change it, you know?
I think it's interesting because I've definitely seen a video of, I forgot who they were, the cast of some. It was some definitely like,
it was the cast of Lion King. I think
Lion King, like a Broadway player, whatever like that, and like the whole cast start singing, they just say Lion King songs, whatever like that.
But they were the flight. They were the whole flight. They had the whole plane.
There were other people on the plane who wasn't a part of the cast. But I'm saying, but it wasn't an issue, and I think it's kind of like, you know, it depends on the time and the situation and who's enjoying it or not. Because if for whatever reason, if Bobbi was singing and everybody was just like cheering her on or whatever the case may be, I'm sure the flight attendant wouldn't have said anything. You know what I'm saying? I think, but somebody had to end up complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this lady's up there singing. Like, I ain't slept all night, whatever the case may be, or I'm nervous or what, you know what I'm saying? I think it just, because even with the cast of Lion King, like there may have been one person who hated it, but if the other 99% thought this was fantastic and wanted to get it for the gram and stuff like that, that one person just gonna end up probably having to suffer in silence because, you know, I think it's gonna be kind of like a majority rules thing. And I think even the fact that nobody responded to her when she was asking, did they mind? It probably meant, this is my assumption, it probably meant majority of them probably did mind. You know what I'm saying? But they just didn't want to be a part of it, so they just didn't say anything, and they didn't want to get into it with her. So they didn't say anything, because if everybody as a whole didn't mind, I think more people would have spoken like, oh no, let her sing, like she's calming us down, or you know, whatever can be. But the fact that nobody normally, like, no answer is an answer. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a way of saying like, lady, I don't want to be rude, but you need to, you know, shut up.
I'd have told her to shut up. I'd have been like, hey, I'm trying to watch the Barbie movie over here. I don't need this, you know?
We know.
And I do think there's another level. Rudy, did you have anything else you want to say?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, I think there's also another level just in society today where a lot of adults don't feel like they can say anything to anybody else these days. One, because you don't know, you know, where that person is. Are they going to try to fight you? Are they going to try to kill you? Are they going to snap? Is it a bad day for them? You know, like, and so I think oftentimes when stuff happens, like people just don't say anything or continue to mind their business. Like, unfortunately, like somebody can get their purse snatched and people will just watch because nobody wants to get involved with something. It's kind of like, just, I'm minding my own business. If it ain't got nothing to do with me, I'm just going to keep it pushing. And I think in those type of situations, like the airplane, especially given today's culture, it's easier to come, like if I'm a passenger and I didn't like the singing, it's easier to complain to the flight attendant than it is to the person, because this is the flight attendant's job.
For sure.
And if the rules state, you know, I don't know what the rules are for the planes, but if the rules state, you know, you can't do any disruptive, audible behavior, well, then the issue's not necessarily with the plane, the passengers or the airline, or the passengers or the flight attendant. It has to do with the rules that are set by the airline. And so that's why I think it kind of went the way it went. But then to your point, Rudy, because I agree, even just recently, I saw the one for the Lion King. I think there was a flight with the cast of Aladdin. They're doing the whole versions of the harmonies, it loud. It's a lot. And like you said, sometimes these events get praised and everybody's cheering. Not too long ago, like within the past maybe month or so, I think it was Beanie Man was on a plane, and he kind of did a little bit of his Simba, he did like a little bit of that song, and of course, some people on the plane knew the words and sung along or whatever. So it's not, it's not that it doesn't happen. I've even seen when Prince died, I think it was like a Southwest flight that was going to Minneapolis or whatever. They had turned all the cabin lights purple, trying to, as a, memorial, whatever for him. And so it's like it seems like there are some wiggle room when it comes to what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. But I guess in this particular situation, it was a religious or gospel song that she was singing. And from what we can gather, somebody had a problem, whether it was their passengers or if it was just that flight attendant person. Somebody, wasn't here for it. Right. And so it ended the way it ended. But I don't know what the solution necessarily is moving forward. I don't know if it's like just everybody be quiet. It don't matter if you the cast of the Little Mermaid or not. Everybody just be quiet. I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure that was all cast and crew for the traveling, but that's okay. It's fine. But just remember, what if somebody had gotten up and started singing the Islamic call to prayer? Would that change things for you, in your opinion? Would it change things on the plane? I think it would have, and I think that person would have gotten pulled off by Homeland Security.
I guess my thing is following the instructions. Because of course you can bring in she's a woman, or she's a Black woman, or she's singing a gospel song. To me, my thing was none of that. Again, if I was on the flight and she was singing, I probably wouldn't say anything. And again, to your point, Janessa, most people don't want to say anything because you never know somebody else's mental state and what that looks like. People are always recording, and then you go viral for and just people don't want to be involved in any of that. Like, I was just trying to get to my cousin's wedding, and now I'm viral for saying something to whatever. And so I get that for sure. I think my issue with the video was she was asked by the flight attendant to not sing. And she thought it appropriate to go back and forth with the person who is the leader of the plane, who is in charge of our safety. And then wanted to say the Lord was in there. Now, I wonder when the cast of Aladdin and
Lion King.
And the Lion King.
There you go.
If they asked, because I think Kanye West had one too, but that may have really been all of his people.
That was all of his people.
Yes,
I know the one you're talking
may
about.
have been all of Kanye West.
That was James Corden's thing, I think.
Yeah, and so, yeah. But had they had asked first, had they had said, hey, this is going to happen, or if the flight attendant came and said, hey, y'all, Lion King is great, Aladdin is great, but a part of your world is just not appropriate. At
Save
this
it for the
time.
magic carpet ride, not on
Right.
But I could,
Atlanta, what is part of your world?
that's
that's Aladdin.
no, that's a Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Little
right,
Mermaid.
right.
Yeah.
You
Sorry.
came out a whole new one. Right?
Like,
But I could see a flight attendant going, "Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have the cast of The Lion King on with us. They've offered to sing. Would everybody like to hear from them?" And everybody claps, and then they do it, and it's
But I could also see myself being the one person who don't want to hear that, but not saying nothing because I don't
suffer through. Then this is a democracy.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a majority rules type of thing. Because I could be the one person like, no, I don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
If I had to suffer through 4 years of Trump, you can suffer through this song, boy.
It really depends on the flight attendant and the pilot. Like, if they're okay with it, then go for it. If they're not, they're not. I
agree.
If the flight attendant was fine with her singing, if he liked Bobbi Storm in the song, he may be back there dancing and singing with her.
Right.
He ain't like it.
Maybe you get one of those cool flight attendants that like raps the safety instructions or something,
Hey y'all, sorry to interrupt, but we have a few church announcements. Follow us on Instagram at TheWorstOnesPK. New content coming soon. We also have a TikTok at TheWorstOnesPK. No content yet, but continue to check us out. If you want to, when you listen to our podcast, you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your podcast. Just make sure you type in The Worst Ones Podcast and you'll find us. And when you get there, make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and you share. Thank you to our 500,422 followers. We love you so much. Now, back to the show.
That was something else I was going to say. I think maybe it was in the video and maybe, I don't know. The timing of when she was singing. Was she singing as they were preparing to go over the safety issues?
No.
Were they singing when they were preparing to land the plane? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when did this happen? Because that might have played a role in it too. Maybe when the Lion King folks were singing, it was right when they was, still at the gate before they had taxied off and it wasn't interrupting anything. But in this situation, was the flight at night? Was it a 3:00 in the morning flight? That I don't know anybody. I might be more willing to hear singing at 2 p.m. versus 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So there might have been some other things going on that may have led to the flight attendant saying or doing the things that he was doing. Because even when I think about flights at night, after they get everything settled and they get in the air, they turn the lights off. Like it's quiet time. It's just like a known thing. So maybe there's some more details that we don't have, but I think the overall takeaway for me is like, just let people mind their business on their flight.
Well, just real quick, according to the video that Kellie sent, it happened. I don't know what time of day exactly, but it happened during a time where there was a delay for maintenance. So they were still at they hadn't taxied off yet because she was still in a position where she could get kicked off the flight. Like, so they weren't in the air for sure. And basically that was the option that the flight attendant was given. Like, if you don't hush, you're not going to be able to stay on this flight and I'm going to kick you off type thing. And when this is just me going off of assumption. Everybody seemed to definitely be awake. And I don't know what time of day once again, but everybody seemed to be awake. Because even when she announced that she was nominated for 2 Grammys, like the plane started clapping and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody kind of started like applauding her for it. So I don't know if it was an issue in reference to it was a time where she was being disruptive during a time where something else where no interruption was supposed to be going on. But but at the same time, that doesn't give her liberty to just go ahead and sing anyways, because once again, people may be nervous. Some people may have been asleep, or some people may just didn't pay for their plane ticket to hear singing. You know what I'm saying? But I think even going to the topic at hand with the whole unintentional sin thing, I also take into consideration, not that this probably would matter to anybody on the plane, but what if God did tell her to sing in that moment? You know what I'm saying? I think that she just then has to be willing to, I guess accept getting kicked off the plane or whatever, that comes with it. I mean, because not to compare her to Jesus by any point, but Jesus definitely expedited his crucifixion when he was saying stuff like, I'm the son of God, I'm gonna tear down the temple and build it up in 3 days, and to just say saying and doing all these things that just say his father was instructing him to do, and people definitely had an issue with it. Religious people, even not even just worldly people, like religious people had an issue with it, but he still had to go to the cross and suffer for that. Yeah, it didn't take him away from having to just say ultimately he was paying for sin, but just say in the natural pay for the consequences of his actions. You know what I'm saying? So I think that if she was in a position where she really felt that God told her that, then she definitely, and you get kicked off the plane as a result of it, she wouldn't be able to be mad at God, as what I'm saying, like God told you to do that and you do it, but then it gets you the boot. Then I think that was also a part of God's will for you and your singing. You know what I'm saying? Like, because like I said, because like I said, going even to just the topic at hand, unintentional sin, like she could have appeared wrong in a lot of our eyes because we're even just looking at it as anybody get on the plane for that, especially people who live in cities like New York and stuff. They deal with that all the time on the subway. They just don't have a flight attendant to complain to, but it's definitely people on there singing or giving speeches or you know what I'm saying? I mean, just all type of interruption. Like, but you just got to just stomach it on there. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't nothing you can do about it. But yeah, so I mean, I think that if in fact God sincerely did tell her that, and this isn't just something she's just using as an excuse, because the way it came out, even to your point earlier, Kelly, it did seem a little, I'm gonna bring the Lord's name in this, you know what I'm saying, to try to make my point as to why I'm singing. But let's just say, for the sake of the argument, she was actually telling the truth, and God was like, "Hey, y'all got a little break. It's maintenance issues. People on this plane are feeling whatever uneasy. Sing this." And she started singing it. So be it. But it does then, just in the natural, start seeming a little sketchy when you then start announcing you got Grammy nominations, stuff like that. Because now it seems more about yourself than something just say that God told you to do.
So would you say, so I think we can all agree that flight attendants are on the plane for the reason to keep us safe. If the Lord told her to sing, and it may have been comforting to someone who is anxious or dealing with grief or dealing with mental health issues, and very well, her voice and her song may have comfort someone that she had no idea that she touched. But do we think that if the Lord told her to do that, that he also instructed her to go to engage in a back and forth with that flight attendant? That's where I'm like, okay, if you felt like the Lord told you to do that, cool. But at the time that you were instructed to do otherwise by someone in authority on that plane, then maybe your time was up. Now, if it was the person from the back seat who told you to be quiet, then you may continue to sing in and doing the Lord's work. But when the leader of the plane, when a leader of the plane says, "Hey, I need you to be quiet," then I feel like at that point it is in order to then respect their command.
I feel what you're saying. But that's why I'm saying if in fact the Lord did tell her that, and it was because she ultimately didn't get kicked off the plane. Apparently she did.
She stopped.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if in fact she did get kicked off, I think that just came with whatever God's will was for her singing and stuff. Because like I said, going back to Jesus' story, like he said things and people said that was blasphemous for you to say this, or for you to heal people on the Sabbath, or for you to, do a lot of things that he was doing, but he was doing it and saying like, I'm doing this in the name of my Father, and I'm the Son of God, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And ultimately those things are what made the Pharisees and different people want to kill him and choose to kill, choose to free Barabbas, who was a full-blown murderer, you know what I'm saying, and still kill Jesus. So like, for us, we have a view of Jesus and him going to the cross for our sins and stuff like that. So we kind of have a more respect level for it. And I'm not saying that God did tell Bobbi to sing that song. I'm not saying that by any means. But I am saying that if in fact that he did tell her that and it resulted in her being kicked off the plane, I think she just has to understand that just came with whatever God told her. Now, if she is just using it as an excuse to try to make her point, then she's obviously dead wrong.
Now, I will say this about Bobbi Storm. Either way, it was done. Her name has gone viral. She has been on multiple news outlets.
For sure. Yeah.
Again, I am not in tune with the current gospel artists. I had not heard of Bobbi Storm prior to this. I have now, we'll listen to the song again when she was singing. I'm like, oh, that's
good promo.
Yeah. And so the blessing in it all, the purpose in it all, the Lord may have told her to sing for the purpose of going viral
right.
and being able to get the recognition on the back end. Because again, she was I don't know the word I want to put there. A word enough to know that when I'm only gonna go back and forth with this flight attendant so far.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna talk to my then she sung quietly. She did sing quietly to the people in the back, but I think she knew that I'm walking on thin ice and I can, because she did ask, does that mean I'm gonna get kicked off the plane? And I think he said
get arrested or something like that.
Right. And she knew that's not how I want to end it. And so but this has enlarged her territory. And so in the end, this may have been the Lord's work.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about her now. And I would not have known about her prior.
For sure.
But on a day that I'm looking for some gospel music, I may say, let me go see Bobbi. See what she's talking about. Let me type Bobbi Storm in Apple Music and see what she's talking about. Because the song sounded like it was good. Voice sounded great.
Right.
I'm not taking that away from her at all.
Right.
I like a good Maverick City. Listen, proud of her. Happy for her. Now, the video that I sent, this is off topic, but the video I sent did throw a little shade because they definitely said her name not even listed.
Yeah.
And now was that necessary?
Right. And even when I looked it up, I it doesn't seem like she's a part of Maverick City. She just was one of the featured singers on their song. So,
but the news clip said her name not featured.
It was, yeah.
I said, well, dang.
Yeah,
I had to do the girl like that, though.
It was a little shady.
But listen, I'm gonna go listen to Bobbi. I'm going to increase her views or whatever it's called.
Listenership, right?
There it is.
That's all. I swear when I first started watching the video, I thought it was Jada Pinkett Smith, but with the hair. Yeah.
All black people do not look alike.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I don't want to go down that road.
No, we're not. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, again, I know what Kellie was saying about people are non-confrontational nowadays. They'd rather go and quietly tell the teacher than actually address somebody because you never know. But I totally would have. I mean, I wouldn't have yelled at her or been mean or anything, but I would have just looked at her and go, take a step back and look at what you're doing. Do you really think this is like the right place and time? Not to mention, have you ever been on an airplane? The acoustics are terrible. Nobody would sound. Whitney Houston wouldn't sound good on an airplane. Yeah.
Well, I disagree. Whitney won't sound good anyway. But
just saying. I'm just saying, with that little tube and no, acoustics, like it's not going to be great. So,
I mean, even just going back to the whole, like I said, if in fact God did actually tell her and she was even bold enough to do it, even with the risk of getting kicked off and stuff, because I even thought about that too when you were saying, Kellie, did the cast actually ask, the cast of Lion King or whatever actually asked could they sing or whatever, or even just say that the flight attendants or pilots or somebody may have just been aware they were there and then asked them to sing. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe made an announcement. It was like, hey, make some noise if you would like to hear them sing. And then everybody started making the noise. But I also thought about that one person in the back who would probably be me.
Right, you.
Who is like, I don't want to hear that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what they cast them. I don't care how good it's going to sound. I don't care nothing about that. Like, I don't want to hear it, but I also wouldn't say anything because I don't want to be the one person, you know what I'm saying, who's like, nah, man, nah, hell no. You know, quiet all that down. You know what I'm saying? Because now you the party pooper. Now you the, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, now I got to, and then what if I don't got no headphones? I ain't got nothing to drown it out. So now I just got to just suffer in silence. But nobody's going to care about the one person. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I feel like it either had to be, even to Janessa's point, the flight attendant himself was over it and like, lady, I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't care what nobody else say, and I'm in charge, so I'm going to whatever. Or it had to be enough people to be like, yo, can you please go tell this lady to shut up? You know what I'm saying? Like, she's been singing for the last 7 minutes, and it's driving me crazy. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's it had to be a big enough issue, because if the roles were reversed and there were more people who wanted to hear it, including the flight attendant, for one, she nobody would have said anything, but then also she wouldn't have been as viral, because it wouldn't have, the virality, if that's even a word, came from you know, the controversy of it all. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it didn't come from, you know, oh, this woman sung and, you know, and this good thing happened. And I think if it would have been more of a good thing, especially with somebody who, because even the cast of Lion King and stuff, like, we know those songs. We know, even if we don't know none of those people individually, we know that that's a Broadway play. So they still have some level of validation even in their approach. But to be this unlisted, you know, gospel, not, you know, Grammy nominated artist, you know, I like, maybe it was a blessing in disguise, or maybe she even knew that she wanted, you know, she needed a marketing ploy and she just used it to her advantage. Maybe God had nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? She was like, if I start singing and, you know, and this get a little pushback or whatever, because it's definitely everywhere. Like, so it's on news outlets, Breakfast Club, several podcasts. Like, you know, it's you know, I've definitely heard about this, and I ain't even on social media. You know what I'm saying? And it got to me, you know, even prior to, you know, you sending it, Kelly. So so she, you know, we definitely know who she is now. God or not, she would be smart to capitalize, you know,
absolutely
on this opportunity. But go ahead, Janessa.
No, it just kind of hit me, and again, it kind of goes to the culture and the world we live in. I'm not necessarily saying that she did this, but I'm saying that I wouldn't be surprised either if it was a setup. She, you know, the person who was filming was really her homie, and she calls the scene, and they intentionally put it on the, you know, the website. And to Kelly's point, like, she was only going to go so far. If they were serious about arresting her or kicking her off, all right, that's it. But, you know, it got the little buzz, the little, you know, hot sizzle that she may be seeking. And to both of y'all's points, like, the viewership, you know, the exposure, I've never heard of this person before. I do like Maverick City music. I want to say she either sings with them or she maybe wrote one of the songs or something like that. But I've never really seen her, you know, as one of the, I guess, the main people. I've gone to their concerts. I've never really seen her as the face or whatever, but it might have caused people who don't know who Maverick City is to look them up, you know. So it could have also just been a whole ploy in today's world. So
flight attendant might have been her uncle, you know what I'm saying? Hey, come over here and tell me to shut up. We're gonna get this thing.
The lens people will go to clout chasing. I think that's what the kids call it today. I don't know.
But that's real. And like you said, and that's the culture in the world that we live in. Even going back a few episodes ago when we talked about the dating one in that video that gone viral about the girl and not going to Cheesecake Factory, you know, and that turned out to be a whole skit. And so same with this, people always have their video cameras on, but this may have been let's just, it's so funny when I see content creators and they say, oh, I recorded this thinking that, my son was going to do something cute. I didn't know I was going to get this, and so you just record 24/7, just waiting for something to happen. And so I absolutely think the person who was recorded was probably one of her friends, not knowing it was going to go like this, but she probably thought about singing on the plane and telling everyone that she was going to be nominated. Who knew she was going to have a 10-15 minute, time because the plane was going to break down. But I'm sure she always knew that she was going to come in and start singing.
You're right.
Like, oh, the Lord gave me some extra time.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a lot more likely. I think because everybody wants to go viral today, but they only want to go viral for the good reason. So she's like, I'm gonna move this whole plane with my music, and I'm sure she thought everybody would be clapping and cheering and yay. Meanwhile, people are like, dude, I'm hungover, or I'm freaking out about this flight, or I'm trying to watch the Barbie movie. No, they said no.
I think that is true because I feel like when the TikToking and everybody was doing the little whatever, the renegade, all this stuff, like at first it was kind of like, oh, that's cute, all these people are dancing, but now honestly it's kind of like an eye roll if you see somebody, you're walking in the mall and you got somebody with the camera thing on and they doing all of this in the mall, and it's just kind of like, just give you and you're just like, all right, there goes somebody else making another video. And there is this level, at least for me, I feel like a lot of stuff these days is very inauthentic. Even like just influencers trying to sell stuff or sell their daily life. This is what I eat in a day. Get ready with me. Like it's all just so fake. And I'm not saying like there are not anybody who in the world who lives like that, but honey, I don't have a 3-hour facial routine in the morning because I have to be at work at 8. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not doing all these things, storage and packing and organizing my bathroom with the cute little, like, that's just not real for me. So I think it's fake, it's oversaturated, and it's low-key annoying. So if you're on a plane and somebody's trying to make a moment or go viral, like I think the world, we're just so over it at this point. That's also part of it. It might not even really have been that big of a deal 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But in today's world, everybody want to be a singer, a dancer, influencer, a viral moment. And I'll be upset too. I probably would be. You too, Rudy. Like I really actually don't.
And it depends for me, because I be like, sometimes I like a little concert. I got a free little concert. I'd be the one. That's Bobbi Storm, y'all. I don't know who she is.
Yes, but see, you were excited. You're like, yeah, I got a free concert. But yet again, I'm trying to watch the Barbie movie. I don't want a free concert.
Well, if you're watching the Barbie movie, you got on headphones anyway, so you probably wouldn't have heard her singing.
Are you kidding me? You can still hear the engines. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you can't, like, you'd have to have some pretty awesome headphones to not hear somebody singing in a metal tube.
Yeah. I mean, I think to one point she may have even seen the cast of Lion King and all them and even got, she was like, shoot, if they can do it, why I can't sing on there? You know what I'm saying?
Nominated.
Right. And like and I think and even that line to me is what kind of makes it seem more her intentions than anything, because you even saying like, and granted, it could have just been a genuine statement in the moment, because you're trying to maybe even make your case for, like, hey, like I'm qualified to sing on here. Like I wasn't even gonna mention the Grammy nominations, but now that I'm getting, this pushback from this flight attendant, I want to let y'all know, like, yo, I'm nominated for 2 Grammys, so that's why I'm singing. It could have happened that way, but just watching it, with the naked eye, it does seem like when you start mentioning accolades and stuff, this is more about you than God or anything else. You know what I'm saying? Because like even with myself, like I don't and granted, I ain't accomplished that much in life, but even when I like go on stage, like and host, a lot of times will ask you like, what you want me to say before you come on, like as far as in your intro, like, and most people be like, mention I was on this show or I toured here or I did this, whatever like that. I would just tell them, just say my name. You ain't got to say all that, because for me, I don't even want all that. I don't want you to try to look at me a certain way before I get on stage. Like, you just judge me based off of what's going to happen right now. You know what I'm saying? Like all the accolades of what I've done ain't that important to what, like, you're already here. You know what I'm saying? So like, let me just go ahead and just do that. Terry, can you
Rudy,
mute yourself on your thing?
Now, Rudy, on that plane, if she would have just got up and started singing without telling folks that she was Grammy nominated first, she needed that disclaimer.
Well, no, she did. She said the Grammy thing afterwards. Like, yeah,
she knew she had that in her bag.
No, for sure. But what I'm saying is, but to me, it makes it to me, it seems like that, like she wanted to do the Grammy nomination announcement more than to use that as validation secondhand. Now, if she was using it as, hey, y'all, like, don't crucify me, like I am a Grammy nominated singer, to me, that's pulling out the bag then to try to even help your case, even though you still can just still hush regardless of who you are. Because there's a chance, like, let's just say, like, if Patti LaBelle or somebody starts singing, now because of her notoriety, most people would probably not say anything or whatever. But there could have been people who might have wanted Patti to shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody like Patti. We do, but not everybody.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people might have wanted Patti to shut up, but so I get having that validation behind you in some form of fashion can help people go ahead and stomach whatever it is that you're trying to do. But but it also can come off, especially for somebody who wasn't on the plane and I'm just seeing the video, it does kind of come off as, without any extra context, like you're just trying to, because you're
showboating.
You're nominated, but also unknown. And I ain't talking about the way the news said it. I'm saying, like, and granted, there's a lot of people who win Grammys that we don't know their name because maybe they're composers or whatever. Like, but for people who may not be aware that that's a thing, they may be like, oh, she just on here just trying to brag, and trying to brag, and then also attaching, just say the name of the Lord in it. Can get real misconstrued in your intentions, and
not to mention it's offensive to some people, and I don't mean people with just other religions. I mean, there are some people who find religion offensive for whatever reason, their personal history, past traumas, whatever. So what if there's, like, I knew a girl that did comedy with in Miami who was basically in a cult. Like, her parents put her in a cult that was Christian based. And now she goes on stage and talks about how traumatic it is to see any religious event, because all she remembers is like that cult she was in, that her parents put her in. So somebody like that, I could totally understand, like, no, she doesn't want this,
Yeah. I mean, I think
it's just rude. At the end of the day, it's just rude. It's rude to be singing anything on an airplane.
I think she was tell that to the cast of Lion King, because I wouldn't want to hear that. I think she was way less disruptive than, I don't know if y'all ever seen the lady at the CVS, the little African lady who on the floor praying, and Terry, mute yourself when you blowing your nose. We're talking about the lady singing. We don't want to hear that shit.
Exactly. That's my point. How rude is that? It's rude. It's rude to sing in an airplane. It's rude to sing in a grocery store. I saw somebody singing in Publix once, and I wanted to elbow until they were unconscious.
You need to mute yourself when you blow your nose. Don't be talking about the lady in Publix.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
But what I was saying was, she was way less disruptive. I don't know if y'all haven't seen it. Just look at the lady who was praying at CVS, because it's actually a really funny video. But this African lady, she was literally in the middle of the floor, like on her knees and stuff, and she just was praying or whatever. And as the dude is security is trying to kick her out, she's giving him a very, very hard time. But she wasn't trying to be funny, but it's a very comical situation for sure. So if y'all haven't seen it yet, just look it up. The lady praying.
The one that was praying against because of the abortion pills or whatever they were selling.
This was years before the abortion thing was even a thing. This was way before that.
Well, no, there's a woman that was praying in CVS because they were selling Plan B there.
No. She was actually, just watch it. You'll see. This happened some years ago at this point. But it's comical nonetheless. Go ahead, Kellie.
Well, in closing, Bobbi Storm, I'm listening to some of your music. Congratulations, girl, on your 2 Grammy nominations. My hope for you in the future is that you will get Grammy nominated under your name. I see it in your.
That's such a passive aggressive.
And then everybody gonna want you to be singing on their plane.
Listen,
nobody wants.
And they're gonna appreciate.
No.
Everybody gonna follow your footsteps. It's gonna be the Bobbi Storm challenge. Sing your song on the plane.
Appreciate your ministry. So I'm rooting for you, girl.
Shout out to your uncle, the flight attendant who was part of the plane.
I'm rooting for you. No, I'm serious. Sarah trying to make it seem like I'm playing, but I'm serious.
No. Shout out.
I'm gonna go on to everything she's got and negatively review it. Just to counterbalance. No, because it's rude and it's self-aggrandizing.
People say
and
that.
Rudy's absolutely right. She wanted everybody to know about her Grammy nomination, and
she should be excited for that. If I was Grammy
great.
nominated,
That's great.
People do proposals on planes, and they want to
celebrate with your friends.
All of that.
Yeah. And I don't
celebrate with your family, with your friends.
None of that.
Don't get 200 strangers.
There was a proposal that the most awkward one. I know we got to go, but the most awkward one was the girl was coming out the bathroom on the plane, and the man. Have y'all seen that? She was on the plane coming out the bathroom, and the
bad
man
timing.
was on his
Lord have mercy.
I don't
Who
want that.
proposes on a plane at all? It's like the least romantic environment.
Did she at least get to close the door first? Because I know it's stank. All that just coming out.
I do not want all the attention on me coming out the bathroom on the plane. You know, it's all small and compact, so you just... No, sir. I'm sorry. At Princess Scales.
Did you have jewels?
I do.
Oh, amen.
Oh my gosh.
Take us into this Thanksgiving holiday.
Oh my gosh. So this week's jewel is called Pass the Test. And I was doing a devotional this week, and it gave me a new perspective on something that never really thought about. So essentially it was talking about how we grow in faith and we build our trust in God as we go through tests and trials and as we complete assignments that God has given us. And I've always kind of thought about it from that perspective. Yes, our faith does grow. Our patience, our trust grows as we go through things in life and keep living. But then the devotional said that God can, then when we are faithful to him and trusting him and doing the things he asks us to do, then he can in return entrust us with more. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because it made me wonder if there are things that I have been praying for and asking God for that he wants to give me, that he wants to entrust with me. But because I have not passed the test or completed the assignment that is right in front of me, I'm really the hold up to my own blessings. And so I just kind of want to encourage everybody this week, whatever God has called you to, whatever assignment it is, whatever trial, whatever tribulation, whatever test, to pass it, to complete it. The Bible talks about how our ways are not his ways and our thoughts are not his thoughts. So I might be thinking, okay, the way to this house that I want to buy, I need to get a new job that pays more so that I can save more. And it's just very logical. But in reality, it might be God wanting you to work through working with a difficult coworker. And from that, if you are able to accomplish the things he wants to do with that, God will just give you the money, for the house. The house just might magically just pop up, or you know what I'm saying? Maybe that might be the case, but I do just encourage everybody, and it might not be the case, because again, I don't know what God's plan is for your life, but I do know that if you pass the test and he entrusts you with more, then you're living the life that God has already planned for you, that God wants you to have. So whether things work out the way you think they should, whether you get the things that you are praying and hoping for, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, the main focus should be passing the test. And that's all I got. Okay, the end.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
I muted myself before I coughed. Didn't want to interrupt the jewels.
Congratulations. Thank you.
I've already thrown up from the snot I heard earlier. So.
I'll grow up.
All right.
Princess Kells.
At Princess Kells 51. It's where you can find me. But you can't follow me.
You can request,
But
Good luck with that.
she ain't gonna let you.
DM me first. I may let you in.
She not.
You can find me at _. We have fun over there.
At Terry Wayne Comedy on all platforms. And you can buy the book on Amazon. It is Unclaimed Ashes.
And shout out to our producer as always. Follow her at Risa_G, RHESA_G. And happy holidays. Y'all will see this episode before Thanksgiving. But you may not get one the week after Thanksgiving. So
Shady.
Eat something other than turkey. Make a nice fish.
So you will definitely hear from us before Christmas, but consider this your Thanksgiving episode and let it hold you for a week or two. Amen.
Make a ham or a big whole fish or something nice.
Or just get your little breakfast catered with Kelly.
Yeah. Spend $2,000 on breakfast.
Shout out Cafe Social House, Mableton, Georgia.
That's at least $1,500. $1,500 on breakfast. How much are these eggs?
Shout out.
So anyways, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all as always. Thank y'all for watching and listening. Please like, comment, subscribe, and most of all, share. And until December, we are the worst ones. We out.